Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bologna Show, presented by Chicago Sports Bums. I am Bologna, better known as Peter Fonseca, and I'm here with one of my buddies from the Boneheads and Brewskis crew. It's Jordan, also known as PL Dragons on
Yes,
the old
sir.
Twitter machine. I want to thank you for coming on, Jordan, and I also want to thank you for being one of the first people that said, "Hey, I want in on the Bologna Show." As soon as I announced it, you're like, "Hey, I typically talk football and talk sports. I want to talk a little nerd news. I want to talk a lot of like the same kind of things, whether it's wrestling, comic books, and stuff like that." So you were on the short list from the beginning, but you
Oh, yeah.
jumped in right away and you're like, "Hey man, I want in." So you're here, baby.
Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate you for having me. That's first off. And what an intro. What an intro. Like,
Thanks.
it might be one of the best podcast intros of all time. Shout out to your boy who did that.
Josh.
But
You know what? Shout out Mike Hollins. I appreciate it. I
yeah,
appreciate you shouting him out, and I shouted him out on the first show. I should probably shout him out every show. So shout out Mike.
yeah, that guy killed it. But yeah, like we're a football podcast. We like to make jokes and all that, but they always dog on me because I'm the nerd of the group. Me and Albert probably the nerdiest of all of us, but he's here, I'm way up here.
Yeah.
So this is
And
my bread.
It's your bread and butter. I
This is my
know
bread
it's
and butter.
I know it's and there's levels to this shit, like people say.
Oh, yeah.
But I know you're into like my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, shout out Julie's siblings. They're like big into anime, and for the longest time they're like, "Oh, you got to watch this, you got to watch that." I've never dipped my toe into the anime world. I just stayed to my Marvel and comic book stuff. But you're in the anime world, so that's the next level. That's the next level. Nerd.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Japan, so.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. All right, let's talk
Yeah.
about that for the beginning.
Yeah, I grew up in Japan, so my dad was in the Navy. Born in Hawaii, stayed there for a little bit, and then we got stationed over in Japan, and I stayed there for a good little while. So that was my first into. Everyone's watching X-Men and all that, and I'm over here watching Dragon Ball Z and One Piece, which is still going on, which is crazy. So that's one thing. If you ever are gonna watch anime, stay away from One Piece because it's still going on.
That
doesn't look like it's
ending long.
soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, Japan's awesome, man. I love that place so much. I love it more. Like if everyone's like, "Oh, if you could live anywhere, where would you be?" Japan.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah,
I've never made my way there. Actually, I mean, we just talked about her, but Gabby, Julie's sister, just got back from Japan. She took like a 2-week trip over there. Loved it. Everyone that goes there loves it.
It's
I know
fantastic,
that.
Man.
I do want to make it out to Tokyo. I want to do the whole Shibuya thing. All of that. But
the fact that you can play Mario Kart in the streets.
She did that. She did that. It looked so cool. So yeah, that's definitely something that like not only doing it, but trying to either film it, whether it's with a GoPro or the meta glasses, that would be a fucking cool experience.
You should do it.
Southside JT saying Kevin Warren exploring options of Tokyo Bears. Yeah, we're gonna probably talk about that on Monday, JT. I was not happy, kind of ruined my Wednesday. I was ready to talk nerd news, and now we're talking Northwest Indiana Bears. That's a topic for a different show. But no, not great news. Not great news coming out of Chicago, Jordan.
I mean, besides Dougie's rant on the Blackhawks yesterday, you guys seem to have a pretty good thing going right now.
Yeah, it's Bears Packers week. It's Bears Packers week. Everyone's gassed up about, the possibility of the Bears finally beating the Packers. We want revenge. We want all these things. And then the Bears drop this stupid PR press conference or press release talking about moving to Indiana possibly. I was like, it's so tone deaf and dumb. I understand why they're doing it. They didn't have to do it this week. So
nah, they shouldn't have done it this week.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk Bears, goddamn. Actually, you know what? We are here to talk Bears, so I might as well transition before we get to the nerd news. We do have a watch party for said Bears-Packers game. It's the biggest game of the year, biggest game in the last 6 years, I'll tell you that much. It's the biggest game since the Double Doink game. Saturday, December 20th, we will be at the Ramova in the big room, the big theater, on the big screen to watch Bears versus Packers. It's a $10 entry. That'll get you your first beer free. If you pre-order a ticket and show us your receipt, we will also buy you a beer as the Chicago Sports Bum. So you get a beer from the Ramova, You get a beer from the bums, and then have yourself a good ass time. I know I want to thank everybody that already RSVP'd. We're getting some good feedback there. And I just want to pack that place. I want to pack that place full of Bears fans. It's the biggest game, like I said, in the last 6 years. And it's a Saturday. So nobody's working on Sunday. You got a reason to go out. It's supposed to be nice out this weekend. We've been getting hit with some brutal weather. And it's finally, nice-ish, if you will. Probably like 40s, but I'll take that for December. So yeah, make it out. Head over to the link is all over our bios, but you could go to the Ramova Theater and buy your tickets there. It's gonna be awesome. I did see that you predicted Bears on the Boneheads Show today, huh?
I did.
You didn't sound too convinced, but you did predict Bears, so I appreciate that.
Here's the thing. I have faith in the Bears. Like, I make jokes from time to time to make fun of Jose because no one ever does. But I do like the Bears. I think they're a great team. I didn't appreciate what they did to my team. And for those people on the cusp of going to the Ramova watch parties, I've never personally been to one, but I was on the receiving end of seeing it firsthand from a FaceTime from their last one when they beat the Eagles. And it looked like everyone was having a great time. So you should probably go to that. But yeah, I like the Bears.
Okay.
Nothing against them. Love Walter Payton. I was a big Johnny Knox fan.
Oh shit, Johnny Knox reference. Okay.
Yeah. I like the Bears. Jay Cutler.
Until his back got broke.
Yeah. But
yeah, Cuddy. Everyone is a fan. You either loved or hate Cuddy, no in between. But I was a Cuddy fan.
But like, he's got that. The reason I like Baker Mayfield right now is because he reminds me of Jay Cutler. Instead of smoking cigarettes, though, he's popping Zins on the sideline.
Yeah, so. he's got a couple Lucy's.
Nah,
I like that. All right, that's it. I promise that is
no more football.
That's the last of our football talk. It comes, it's second nature to us. So whenever we see each other or talk to each other, we're talking football usually. So I knew that was going to happen. But we do have nerd news. I said I haven't done nerd news in a couple episodes because I had a few guests. So thank you to Brandon Spinner, Whiskey Weather, and thank you to Beefloaf. Those were fun interviews. But we do have a bunch of nerd news. So let's just get into it. Let's you know what? I don't like that layout. Let's do this one. That'll be better. All right. And then so first off, trailer dropped. News came out everywhere. I mean, Supergirl is releasing on June 6th or June 26th of next year. The biggest news coming out of this trailer is that Jason Momoa is finally getting to be Lobo. He's basically been petitioning ever since I've known of Jason Momoa. He's been wanting to play Lobo for the DCU, and in Supergirl, he's realizing that dream. So everyone's excited about it. I actually got a little bit of a teaser image for Lobo as well.
Looks good.
Give me your thoughts. I know you're big on both MCU, DCU, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I like MCU a lot. I'm a huge Batman nerd, so Batman takes it for me. So that's mostly my DC knowledge, but I branch out. I know a little bit about everything, but Lobo, that's that guy. I mean, everyone says that Deathstroke is DC, or Deadpool's modeled after Deathstroke. Lobo is Deadpool. That's DC's Deadpool.
Yeah,
because he says what he wants. He does everything crazy. Can't die. Yeah. And for Jason Momoa, who's, like you said, it's been petitioning for this role for so long, to finally get it, hats off to him. Because there was another actor he's in a movie with that comes out in a few weeks with Dave Bautista, same thing. But at least one of them got to do the role they wanted to. But I think it looks great. And the trailer, the most James Gunn trailer of all time.
Yeah, so that's where I saw a lot of that sentiment. You see James Gunn fingerprints all over that Supergirl trailer. A lot of people were saying this is basically a Guardians movie. It looks like a Guardians movie. I will say, while it does have James Gunn fingerprints all over it, it's not a James Gunn movie. It's a Craig Gillespie movie. Craig Gillespie did I, Tonya. He did Lars and the Real Girl, and he also did Cruella, which I thought was one of the better Disney live adaptation movies. I liked Cruella. So he did those 3 movies. He's doing Supergirl. But like you mentioned, it looks like it's very James Gunn heavy, even just to the way they use music, the way the ships are shot, just a lot of the very classic James Gunn tendencies.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm excited for this. I actually liked Superman more than I thought I was gonna like it. I know it was a little divisive for a lot of people, but I thought it was probably the better of the Superman movies of late, or at least that I can remember. And I'm not that big of a DCU guy. Everyone loves, Batman and all of the Batman movies, the Nolan movies, but I do like where James Gunn is going with this universe, especially with Lobo. And the Lobo character is perfect for a James Gunn type of movie.
Exactly. It's the smart mouth and everything. Like it's perfect. I just don't want them to have him like fully be villain in this one.
Right. He needs to be an anti-hero.
He needs to be that isn't he kind of person.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because he is not the main villain in this movie. I know it's Matthias Schoenaerts. I don't know who he's going to play. I don't know what, but he's the main villain in this. The one thing I will say with a lot of the comic book movies, and especially the James Gunn movies, the main villain in them typically not not always the main villain, but also not the strongest character. So if you have that Schoenaerts fella doing all of the heavy lifting, and then Momoa comes in and steals a couple scenes and a couple lines, keep people wanting more, I think that's the way to go about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just want him to show up, do some stuff, get out of there, show up somewhere else, possibly have a run-in with my man Peacemaker. Who knows? But
JT says Aquaman fucked a fish. Lobo gonna fuck everyone up. This is probably
I think that was the Deep who did that. I don't know if Aquaman did that.
No, yeah, in Peacemaker. Oh no, yeah. And I will say, of all of the latest DCs, I love Peacemaker. I think season 1, season 2 have been, and it's largely again James Gunn. I'm a big fan of what they're doing with Peacemaker. I feel like that is probably going to transition to a movie role eventually. But
they said he's not. They said he's probably not going to do any more of like the show's probably over, and he's just going to be sprinkled in throughout, which is cool. I'm okay with that.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Supergirl, and that's something I don't think I would have said otherwise. Besides the fact that James Gunn is at the helm. I will say the one thing that does worry me about all of the DCU stuff is they're finally cooking. They got Gunn in place. It looks like they're in a right direction with a lot of these type of different things. And then Netflix came around. And then Netflix shows up, and Time Warner and the Paramount thing. And it's like, damn, they're finally cooking. And there's a possibility this all gets thrown out the window, depending on who buys who.
If they're smart, they'd keep James Gunn.
Right. Because you would think so.
He doesn't make bad movies. Like his worst movie from comic book things of late was Guardians 2. And that was still a great movie. It was still fun.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like Superman. I liked it because it was comic book accurate Superman. It was All-Star Superman. We haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen him be that hope for a long time. So I think he's good. And just let him get Batman out first before you change anything.
Yeah, that's
the big one.
Yeah.
Because getting him, seeing who he would pick as the Joker, it's gonna be nuts.
I'd be intrigued, and there hasn't even been any like leaks or rumors about anything Batman related, because they're keeping the other Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman, kind of on an island, separate from everything. So you really haven't seen James Gunn really dip his toe in that water yet, but it's coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's Alan Richardson though. That's my pick.
Alan Richardson?
Alan Richardson.
Oh, Alan Richardson for Batman?
Mm-hmm.
He's too big to be Batman.
No, he's not.
You're talking Reacher?
Batman, he's older. He can be an older Batman. When Batman's old, pretty jacked.
Okay. All right. I don't hate it.
I'm just saying. But they'll probably go with someone younger.
Yeah.
Because this is one where he's supposed to have Robin with him, so he's got to be a little bit older.
Yeah, you would hope so.
Yeah, you would hope.
All right, this is the next nerd news was something that came out of the video game awards, and it kind of went spread like wildfire. It's something we teased and talked about on the Bumcast because we're all pretty big Street Fighter fans. But the Street Fighter teaser trailer got released, and you got some character art, and you kind of got to see everyone in costume and everything. So I kind of want to get our rapid fire reactions to everyone, basically. Because I'm excited about it. I don't know about you, Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Championship Edition. One of my favorite video games of all time. Shout out my cousin Joel. We used to play that nonstop. It's one of the big reasons why I got into just video games in general. But I played that Street Fighter game ad nauseum. So I'm excited about it.
I wasn't super into Street Fighter. I'm a young guy, so I wasn't really around the arcade cabinets playing that stuff. I got to play stuff what my brother brought home. So he was a Mortal Kombat guy, so I in turn was Mortal Kombat. But Street Fighter's awesome. The characters are great, the jokes are funny. Everything except for that second movie with Lana Lang is terrible. So I appreciate Street Fighter. And I think they have something going on. I think it's a Barbenheimer kind of situation.
Yes. Okay. So before we even get to the images, I know there's a lot of people saying like they don't know if this movie is in on the joke of itself or not, and it's rubbing people the wrong way. I think it's super meta what they're doing. I think it's part of it, like the campiness of it all. Mm-hmm. So I'm going in it with about as like open like eyes as I can, like I'm not
supposed to be the greatest movie in the world.
Exactly. It's not taking itself so seriously, so that's where you got to kind of dive into it. So yeah, Andrew Koji is Ryu, and then Noah Centineo is Ken, which a lot of people have an issue with how Ken looks in this. I don't hate it all that much. I didn't think it's bad.
No, like that. I mean, that's what Ken's supposed to look like. Blonde hair, long blonde hair.
Yeah, I think people
same stature as Ryu.
We're looking for a little bit more of a moppy, almost like a Kenny Omega kind of like hair to him.
I think he looks fine. Andrew Koji though, I think that's perfect casting because Andrew Koji is great.
Yeah. So I should mention, Street Fighter is directed by Kaido Sakura. He is a director of the Eric Andre show, and Eric Andre's in this. So like that's kind of a wild card. He also directed a couple episodes of Twisted Metal, which I've gone on record talking about how I like that show for what it is. Like an easy watch it and forget about it. Show. Yeah. So if it has that kind of flavor to it, like I imagine this is what this is going to be like.
Yeah. I don't think this sets up for like a whole like trilogy of movies.
It might though. It might at least nowadays. And this is something like nowadays, like studios don't go in on something expecting one movie. I would imagine a lot of these actors are tied into at least a sequel, if not a trilogy.
I like how you said actors.
Well, yeah, none of these are
with my boy up here on the screen.
That's a great point. A lot of these people are not actors; they're just people, famous people. So yeah, Cody Rhodes' Guile. I like it. I like the casting. I like the look of him.
I like how they got the hair.
They got the hair looking like a Guile hair, and in the trailer he does the flash kick to somebody. I thought that looked pretty decent. But again, not taking itself too seriously.
Yeah. I think they should have kept the neck tat.
The American Nightmare neck tat.
Yeah.
Or just switch that around and just make it like an American flag.
Yeah, just American flag, something.
That would have made sense.
See, that would have been cool. A lot of people giving him crap for it too, because it's like, oh, well, he's not Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's like, well, he's not going to be.
Yeah.
Like,
And I don't think
Cody
they
Rhodes.
want him to be honest.
Like, Guile's more than the splits, you know? Chun-Li, I'm not too familiar with this actress,
Me neither.
but from what I saw, I think she
looks the part.
Yeah, looks the part.
You know, a lot of people are big Chun-Li fans, so.
Oh yeah.
So this is another wrestler. Another wrestler. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. Roman Reigns is Akuma. And then David Dalsmanchian. He's been in a couple DC movies. He is M. Bison. A lot of people have issues with both of these castings. I'll let you go first.
So the Akuma, I like it. I mean, Kuma is Polynesian demon. I think Roman Reigns looks good. I mean, I don't know if that's a wig or if they actually dyed his hair.
So that's the issue I have with it. And they showed this image. There's another image floating around. The wig is bad, man. I don't know if he just didn't want to dye his hair or like they just wanted to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
But like Roman Reigns has the hair to pull off Akuma.
Exactly. He could have just
why go with the wig? Why go with the wig? That's the one question. I'm like, it makes no sense, but you know, somebody, I don't know if it was in the contract, the direct casting director.
Triple H said, don't touch his head.
Nobody dye his hair.
Nobody dye his hair. I think he looks good as Akuma. He's Akuma don't talk much. Roman Reigns don't talk much. See where it goes. But he's got the
silent but deadly.
Yeah, he's got the look for it. He's got the physique for it for sure.
Yeah.
Now we go to M. Bison. This is where I would have changed the casting a little bit. See, with all of this, with two wrestlers, right? This is where you put John Cena.
Oh shit!
You put John Cena as M. Bison.
I was not expecting that.
You can see it.
I could see it. And I just talked about not taking itself so seriously and, like embracing the campiness of it all. But even Cena might be a little too much for me. I don't mind the David Dalsmanchian. Joey P's in the comments said he was fantastic in Late Night with the Devil. He was also pretty good in Suicide Squad.
Yeah. He was good in that one too. He was good in Ant-Man.
Yeah, he was good in Ant-Man. A lot of people say he's a little bit too silly for this, but I think he could play a straight-laced character pretty well. And like if Bison is the Bison we all expect, I think this is the one thing he's not jacked enough to be Bison. That I agree with.
That's the John Cena part.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, he's got the acting chops to do it. He can be funny if you wanted him to be funny for campiness, and he's still John Cena. He's still shredded.
All right. So I don't hate that. Next up is Jason Momoa. We just talked about Jason Momoa, but it's going to be a very heavy Momoa 2026. And this is him as Blanca. And this is another thing that he said he wanted to be in this, and he wanted to be Blanca. He's just cherry picking his roles at this point.
Bro, at this point, he's just, what can I do today?
Yeah.
He gets up, he's like, what movie can, what franchise can I go help? I think it's good. We'll see how CGI heavy it is.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing, especially with a fighting movie. I don't want to see giant CGI people fighting. But he looks good. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with I'm familiar with the Dalsum character. I'm not familiar with the actor. I think he looks fine enough. He's just a tall, skinny Indian guy. It's basically, they nailed it there.
Yeah,
but yeah, like you mentioned, I think Momoa, both in Supergirl and now in Street Fighter, it's gonna be he's there and he's gone. I think you gotta use him sparingly, almost like you're there and then a couple scenes later down in the movie, and that's about it. Especially like you mentioned with the CGI and depending on what they do with like his moveset and the electrocution and all that stuff. It'll be hard to pull off.
The first one gone in the movie.
That's interesting. That'll
It's
be
gonna be
an
like
interesting thing.
it's gonna be like Goro in Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. I like that.
Yep. Like, huh? God,
So these two are something. This is Orville Peck, the country singer, as Vega, and then Curtis 50 Cent Jackson as Balrog. The Orville Peck casting, I don't mind. He's basically a pretty good boy. He looks good shirtless. He's probably going to be shirtless throughout the movie. You know, he probably won't take his mask off at all. And I don't mind it. I don't mind this casting, especially he will be, you know, like a second in command or third in command to Bison, kind of a henchman kind of deal. I don't mind that at all. The 50 Cent thing, I don't get, especially with the hairline and everything. This was a choice.
Got it. This is so Orville Peck, decent casting, like it. Mass person, like you said, can carry the role if he just take your shirt off. And he's like, okay. 50 Cent, this is how he funded the Diddy documentary.
He's doing these roles just to be able to pay the investigators and the
just to get rights to the footage.
I don't hate that. I haven't watched that yet, and I know a lot of people have. I know the guys at the 108 were talking about it. I'm probably gonna watch it this weekend or this week. I heard it's insane. I gotta watch it. It's 4 parts, correct? Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch that. I haven't watched it yet. I don't know why I've been waiting, but I have been.
But that hairline, come on, man.
He's also old now. You know, like they could have just, you know, cherry picked an actual boxer to do it.
So who I think they were trying to get was Jonathan Majors, but then the whole thing happened.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But and they're just like, well, who can we get? And 50 Cent's like, I need money. So there he is. But I mean, to get someone to play the Mike Tyson character, 50 Cent's not a bad choice.
Yeah, I get that.
Because I mean, that's who Balrog is he's Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it's Tyson. So this is Olivier Richters as Zangief, and then Hiroki Goto from New Japan Wrestling fame as E Honda. The Honda character, I saw a couple other stills, doesn't look that great. I'm a big fan of New Japan. I'm a fan of Hiroki Goto. But they nailed it with Zangief.
Zangief is the best casting on this movie.
Zangief is Zangief. If you guys watch the video game awards, he towered over everybody. He looked like Zangief. I was like, holy cow, this guy is a mountain of a man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a perfect casting, the best casting on this cast, in my opinion.
Yeah.
E Honda, Goto. I mean, Goto's awesome. Like, if you don't watch New Japan Wrestling, Goto's awesome. But I'm waiting, like, you couldn't put face paint on him?
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point.
Like, come on. Yeah. The one thing. But yeah, nothing bad about these two. There hasn't really been the ones.
Yeah, I think I talked about this during when we talked about Street Fighter during the Bumcast, but Balrog is supposed to be the name of M. Bison, but they thought M. Bison and Mike Tyson sounded too much alike.
Mm-hmm.
So then they switched the names up. I do think one of the other moves that they showed during the teaser trailer was Zangief's kind of pile driver, and that looked great too. So, whatever they're doing with Zangief, keep it up, because this is one of the things that they're really nailing.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be the unsung hero of the whole movie.
These are, I mean, I don't. Yeah, you nailed it. I talked about it. I was a big Cammy fan growing up. Mel Jarnison is Cammy, and then Raina Valsen is Julia. Big fan of both characters.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I think everyone loved Cammy. Julia.
Yeah, Julia was actually it's one of the characters that they introduced later. So this is not necessarily a Street Fighter 2.
It's one of those like the Lost chapter.
The Lost ones
games that came in.
Yeah, and then here is Andrew Schultz and Eric Andre. They're playing Dan Hibiki and Don Savage. From what I've heard, the Dan Hibiki character is basically the handler. Well, it's a joke, but it's also the handler to Ken. So he's going to be in a lot of the Ken scenes.
So this is where I'm like, all right. Dan Hibiki is a joke character. He's a campy character. He's the, oh, I'm great. Let me beat somebody up. He's the Hercule of Street Fighter. Andrew Schultz, he's a comedian. I'll give him that.
Allegedly.
But shave the mustache. Like, it's not your brand. You grew it out for tires and haven't done anything with it since. Like, shave the mustache. Be Dan Hibiki. And then Eric Andre, I mean, that's just his boy putting him in the movie.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was like, once I found out that the director basically directed the Eric Andre show, I was like, oh, well, then this makes sense. They're going to have a lot to do with it. My guess is that they're going to toss him a writing credit, or if not. And, you know, some of the jokes will be written like that. Yeah, but I think the Andrew Schultz casting is rubbing a lot of people the wrong way.
It's just,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it's not a great look.
But yeah, so that was those were the, you know, casting and the you know, basically the release for Street Fighter. It's still a ways away, which they've been hyping up this movie for a while. It doesn't come out till October of next year. All of the 4 movies we're talking about today, that's the latest release besides Doomsday. But I'm just surprised they're ramping up their promotion, and rightfully so. They probably should, to get people.
They have to.
Yeah,
they got to get the Mortal Kombat thing, because that's the thing. Mortal Kombat comes out next year too. Like, no, we're the fighting movie you want to go see.
And I will say Andrew Schultz kind of tossed Mortal Kombat a little bit of a dig during the Video Game Awards when they had everybody out there. They said, and here is the cast of Mortal Kombat. Everyone goes crazy, and then he's like, "No, I'm just kidding. They don't care about you. They only care about money." And you know,
we care about you and the money.
Yeah, we care about you and the money. So I know that's an interesting way to go about it. I kind of like it if they want to do a little bit of a budding rivalry between the two brands.
Yeah, and then the director or one of the producers for Mortal Kombat's like, I would never throw somebody on the bus to get ahead. All this other stuff.
Yeah, they didn't like it. They didn't like it.
But I mean, it's kind of what you got to do when you're going up against an established franchise.
Yeah, they got a
franchise has been so bad.
Exactly. The Mortal Kombat franchise got a head start on them, so you kind of you know, get in the mud, kind of throw a little dirt in the eyes, and see what goes from there.
And Carl Urban doesn't miss recently, so
yeah, Carl Urban is good.
Yeah. So I was like,
all right. Before
Johnny Cage.
Before we get to the 2 MCU movies we want to talk about, and I mean the title of the show is the MCU cooked? So we're gonna get to that in a second. But first, I'm gonna play a little self-serving ad for ourselves, the Chicago
Make
Sports
that money.
ShySportsBums.BigCartel.com is the home for all Chicago Sports Bums merch. We have Bears, Hawks, socks, and Bums merch available. Anything you need to get ready for a big game or a Chicago Sports Bums event. Remember, all profits go directly back into our Whiskey at Comiskey tailgates to keep the beer and food free for everyone. So head over to ShySportsBums.BigCartel.com and pick up a couple Toot Tree shirts today.
Whoa, that's not the layout. What is happening here? StreamYard? Nope. Jeez Louise.
There we go.
That was a curveball I was not expecting. But yeah, Spider-Man brand new there. There's a lot of news coming out within the last like 3. I feel like the Avengers Doomsday news started leaking, and then it's like, you know what? We might as well start leaking everything because Spider-Man brand new day came in hot with a couple.
So they had to do it before Tom Holland got a hold of a microphone.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But yeah,
so
Spider-Man.
The main news coming out is that Sadie Sink. Everyone's trying to figure out who Sadie Sink's character is going to be in Brand New Day. I know there's rumors of a variety of characters, but then in one of the teaser scripts, they talk about her talking to Peter Parker and says, "You're a mess, Spider-Man. Don't get in my way. Otherwise, you'll just be." It won't be just your friends who don't remember who Peter Parker is. There's rumors that she's going to be tied in with John Berthal's character of the Punisher, which everyone's excited about. everyone's excited to see Punisher back on the big screen. And then the other big news is that Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo, is going to be in it as well as the Hulk. So it says Sadie Sink's character will reportedly be hunted by the DODC in Spider-Man Brand New Day. The Punisher is said to be protecting her, placing him on the DODC's radar alongside Bruce Banner and Spider-Man. I talked about wanting to get Spider-Man back into just like the street elements of like, you know, like just give me a New York City
the street level Spider-Man
movie. And it sounds like with Punisher and everything else going on with the DODC, hopefully that's what we're getting, because while the Doomsdays of the world are talking about, you know, incursions and like otherworldly things, I feel like the Marvel, especially the original Marvel movies, are at their best when it's just a, you know, either a crime caper or an espionage movie like the Captain Americas, or just like, you know, more grounded. I'm excited to see if it happens.
Oh yeah. Spider-Man's always, he's a street level hero. He's a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's not supposed to be doing all the Avengers stuff. Like, he's part of the Avengers, but he's not always there because, one, he's a kid. Two, he's too busy taking care of New York. I like the fact that they're doing the grounded again, or they're hinting at doing it. We don't know yet. Who knows what Marvel's doing? With the Hulk, I just hope it's actually the Hulk. I don't want any more of this smart Hulk stuff. Give me Bruce Banner in the Hulk. Give me John Bernthal's Punisher, because it's fantastic. Bring in Charlie Cox. Put Daredevil in there for a second. He was already in No Way Home. Put him in there just for a little quick second.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm still here. It's street level. I'm street level. That kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't want any of this giant things. And then the Sadie Sink, it's, oh, is she playing the real
MJ? Yeah.
Or my thing was, oh, she's going to be Gwen Stacy, because we already have MJ. But
Gwen
some
Stacy.
people were saying Jean Grey.
I saw
which
that.
I don't see.
Black Cat.
The only thing we do know.
Thing.
Yeah, the only thing we do know is that she will be in Secret Wars. So whatever character she is has to be important enough to bring back for Secret Wars. Which, who knows who that could be. So
yeah.
I know people are saying Shara, I think it is. Yeah,
that was like the first thing I saw. I was like, oh, she's gonna be playing Shara. And I'm not very well versed in Shara lore.
Yeah, she's the shapeshifter.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, could be cool, I guess. I just want a Scorpion. That's
yeah.
Give me Scorpion. We've been hinting at it since Homecoming. Like, we've already taken out everybody else. So,
and the guy that played him, he's a pretty good actor. He's in a couple of stuff my wife's watches.
Yeah, he's a good actor. My first thing about him was in a video game. Actually, it was in Far Cry 3. He was the main bad guy, and then he killed it.
Okay.
Like, to this day, people still talk about that portrayal of that character. So I was excited for him to be Scorpion. I was like, hell yeah. But we haven't got him since. And now we just keep upping the ante. So the other day I was like, man, they need to bring back some other villains. And I was going through the list and I'm like, bring back Mysterio. And I was like, I can't kill them off.
Yeah, can't do that. I will say, of all of the rogues gallery, I think we've had this conversation via text in our fantasy football group text, but like, I think by far and away the Batman villains rogue gallery is the best one. Spider-Man is right there with it. I would say Spider-Man and X-Men are my two, that like could go toe to toe with the Batman villains. But yeah, Spider-Man has such a long list of villains that they could incorporate, and they have been, ever since the Tobey Maguire days. They sprinkle a good amount in there, but they got so many deep ones that they still haven't. And I will say, I did not see the Kraven movie. I did not see the Kraven the Hunter movie. I refuse to watch that. After Morbius, I'm like, you're not tricking me again.
It's better than Morbius.
I don't believe
it's
you.
Still bad. It's Morbius is terrible. Morbius is so bad. Kraven, at least it was like, all right, like Aaron Taylor Johnson's good.
Yeah, he's a good actor, but I was like, I don't believe.
But I also might be the fact that I don't like Jared Leto.
No, I don't think anybody does at this point.
No, there's a few people on my podcast kind of like him. They give me
Madam
give me
Web,
crap.
bad.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Tremendously bad.
See, so yeah, I haven't seen Madam Web, but I saw Craven, and yeah, they can bring him back, not Aaron Taylor Johnson, but bring Craven as a character to the MCU.
Yeah,
Okay
I always like Craven even in the animated series. I like Craven.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic
as a bad guy.
He's a fantastic bad guy. You can also bring Tombstone in. Tombstone's a really good one.
Yeah.
He's a street level thug. The one thing I really don't like for Spider-Man is the fact that we've already had 2 amazing portrayals of 2 of the best, and that's Green Goblin and Doc Ock. Because I mean, if you'd want to bring them back, like no one's gonna top Willem Dafoe.
No,
and no one's gonna touch Alfred Molina.
Yeah, they were great.
So you'd have to bring in Hobgoblin, which Ned is technically supposed to be Hobgoblin, which I'm okay with. And then if you did Doc Ock again, like I don't see how you do it. So the only hope we have now for villains in the Rogue Gallery for Spider-Man is Venom and Carnage. And who knows?
Those movies stunk too. I didn't like any of the Tom Hardy.
The second
and
one
I like
was...
Tom Hardy. I didn't like any of them. I didn't like the Carnage one. It's tough.
I like
tough.
Carnage.
So it's tough.
Like
we're talking Sony here. Sony is I guess early bum of the week Sony movies because I'm hard pressed to find one I liked. But I will say you mentioned Hobgoblin. I'm a big Hobgoblin guy, especially back in like the 90s comics. And I like Ned as Ned the character. I'm not excited for Ned the Hobgoblin. I just don't see.
But they hinted at it.
I know they have.
He's got the magic and all this other stuff. I mean, would you rather it be Ned or would you rather them introduce Harry and be like, "Oh, it's Harry"?
Yeah, give me Harry or give me James.
See, but I want Harry. I want Harry to be Venom.
Okay.
Because then we can start doing Secret Agent Venom and all that stuff and the Lethal Protector.
Yeah, those are good comics.
See, there's other things, but yeah, Venom 1 was good. Venom 2 and 3, I don't even think I watched the third one.
Fine. I don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and say good. At least
it gave us an Eminem song, so it was good.
I don't know about this. This is where we agree to disagree.
No, I mean, but you can say it's bad. I mean, it's not the best movie in the world, but Tom Hardy as Venom in that whole overarching story was hands down light years above Topher Grace.
I like Tom Hardy. I like Tom Hardy as an actor. I liked, that he was at least committed to the role. He could have just cashed a check. He tried his best. It's just the storyline and some of the choices they made were kind of brutal. But again, it goes back to Sony being Sony. All right, final nerd news of the day. It's the big one. I mean, they've been teasing it all over the place, but the first 4 trailers of Avengers Doomsday should be coming quickly.
Friday.
And the first 2 leaked. I saw the first 2. Chris Evans.
I've only saw the one with Chris Evans, but it was longer because all I saw was
It's only like 30 seconds. Boom. Yeah, it's just they're as teaser as a teaser can get. It's basically him getting off a motorcycle, him looking at and folding his like uniform, his cap uniform, holding a baby, and then the scroll that like, Steve Rogers will return in Avengers Doomsday. The second one was Thor praying to Odin, and very much the same like emo music playing in the background. Him talking about him needing more time and wanting to see his daughter. They alleged, it was assumed that he was talking about his daughter. That's why. And then it said Thor, the God of Thunder, will return in Avengers Doomsday. So they're really, and the next one's Loki. So supposedly the Loki one's dropping soon. They're really stretching this out, and this goes to my bigger question for you. Everyone is excited about Avengers Doomsday. Everyone's excited about the possibility of Robert Downey Jr. and all that stuff. And I'm worried, man. I'm really worried that the MCU jumped the shark and is cooked because all of these little releases, like attaching themselves. I know it's a business, and I know like attaching yourself to a James Cameron Avatar thing is what a lot of these studios do, you know, like to blow this up in a bigger scale. But even like the all-day release of the director's chairs with all of the announcements of all of the actors, it seems desperate from the MCU where like they don't have to do that. And I've given Kevin Feige a lot of rope. I used to wear a shirt that says "In Feige We Trust." I really thought Fantastic Four was going to be better than it was. It was fine.
It was a fine
I'm worried about the MCU. Are you feeling the same thing I am, or is it just something I titled this episode "Is the MCU Cooked?" And I value your opinion. I'm worried that it's cooked. I'm not ready to say that it is, but everything that they're doing, even leading up to the Doomsday, makes me worried.
The MCU's been cooked ever since Endgame. Once Endgame hit, there was nothing else you can do. You got rid of your hardest hitters, and then you do the cash grab of, oh, we're bringing back RDJ as Doom, which, I mean, I'm a huge Doom fan. Doom is my favorite character in the MCU. I don't like Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, unless you do the story where him and Tony switch bodies. But then you're doing the whole multiverse, dimension hopping stuff. You have the weakest Avengers team left.
Yeah.
There's nothing to get excited about. And so this is them scrambling because it wasn't supposed to be Doomsday. It was supposed to be Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
And they had to pivot from that. And so they're like, all right, well, we're doing Doomsday. So this is them scrambling to try to get everyone back on board for Secret Wars, which if you continue after Secret Wars, I don't know what you're doing. So
I think everyone's assuming Secret Wars is going to be the light switch reset that everyone needs at this point.
I think a lot of things will happen in Secret Wars. I think that's where we get Miles to start Spider-Man off again, because I think Tom's done after that. I think that's where we get a lot of stuff. But yeah, right now it's them scrambling, and hopefully they get it right. They're bringing everyone back, even people we didn't want. But I'm hopeful. That's all I can be for it.
I think I'm wishing for the best at this point.
Yeah.
I'm really wishing for the best. I was hoping a lot of the Phase 4 and 5 movies were better than they were going to be. I really can't even pinpoint one that I was like, man, they freaking nailed it. I guess the last Spider-Man movie, maybe.
No Way Home was great.
No Way Home had the last. I feel like No Way Home had the great moments that you're recognizing in like those MCU movies. But as a whole, I rewatched it fairly recently. It didn't hit like as it did like seeing it in the theaters. Seeing it in the theaters, I remembered it. Yeah, it was like the reveal was the big thing. But like, I'll tell you right now, I watch Endgame to this day, and it still fucking hits. You know, if
I mean, it's the weaker of the two, but
I'll watch Civil War. I could watch a good amount of like the Phase 2 and 3 movies, and they still resonate. Where like Phase 4, 5, and the shows, I can't pinpoint one thing that I was like, oh man, I want to go back and watch this.
Yeah, I think the only one from the past few or phase 3 and 4 was, I like Shang-Chi a lot.
I did too.
Shang-Chi was fun. A lot of
and then they ignored that character until next year.
Yeah, and he shows up around there. Deadpool and Wolverine was good, but it wasn't anything to like, oh, it's just everyone loves Deadpool and it was funny.
Yeah. I will say I did like the Loki, the Loki show.
Oh, Loki's great.
Both seasons.
So the MCU shows are what's carrying it right now. And they're not all great. She-Hulk is god awful.
Yeah.
Born Again, okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
Moon Knight, I had promise for Moon Knight, and now he's gone.
Yeah, so even like the whole Moonlight, like so that's a problem. I feel like there's so many loose threads with the MCU right now that they just started like teasing a bunch of different things, but they never deliver on anything. Even like the Shang-Chi like post-credit scene, it's like that never led to anything. A lot of the post-credit scenes never leads to anything. Moon Knight,
Yeah.
I thought was gonna open up the possibility of Ghost Rider, and then like even the Jon Snow character that was supposed
Well,
to
that's
be
the thing, is that he was supposed to be in the Blade.
right. So
But are we ever gonna get Blade?
And I love Mahershala Ali. I thought he would be the perfect Blade. Just give me a standalone Blade movie with Mahershala Ali. That not everything has to connect. That's the problem. It's like just go back to one-off, maybe a sequel, and that's it. But like you don't have to connect. Like if we're hunting vampires with Blade, I don't care about whatever incursions happening in space. Just give me some vampire hunters.
Yeah, I don't care about a planet where people sing with Carol Danvers. Just give me Blade, ice skating uphill, and I'll be fine.
Yeah,
but then also like
Midnight Suns is getting shafted. Julie loved Moonlight. And Oscar Isaac is a good ass actor.
Yeah, and I hate that they lost him.
Yeah.
And now we don't get Jon Snow. Eternal's another movie that was terrible.
But, yeah, I mean that movie was an hour longer than it should have been.
And then why don't you give us a Namor show or something?
He was awesome.
He was
Namor
great. That was the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
Which, granted, I understand.
That was
lost
a tough,
Chadwick Boseman.
I will give MCU credit there. They did about as good as they could have done with that movie.
Yeah.
Considering the circumstances. Once you lost Chadwick Boseman, I thought it was it was a tough sell. They did a lot better doing that than whatever they're doing with Jonathan Majors, because they lost Jonathan Majors and
they're just like, cancel it.
Their rice was cooked.
See, I liked with, and that's where I was like, okay, the MCU, they're making moves, because they lost Chadwick Boseman, he was going to be the head of the new MCU, and they pivoted. And what I liked about what they did with Wakanda Forever is that they set it up for future when they introduced his son, which is, some people are, well, he's supposed to be married to Storm, la la la. His name's still T'Challa.
Yeah.
So and they still haven't introduced the X-Men. So that can be coming later, because X-Men are the next thing that they're doing after these Avengers are over. So I'm hopeful for that for the future. But that's the one thing, the MCU, I'm like, all right, you kind of were doing the cooking. You weren't being cooked on that thing. But then every other movie they put out has been mediocre at best. I haven't seen Thunderbolts yet. Everyone says it's the best one.
It was good. I liked Thunderbolts, and I liked, obviously the casting was really good, but even the direction they went with that movie, it went, I mean, you know me as the emo guy, they went a little emo. They went a little inside baseball with that movie, where it's like, fighting your demons and different things like that, which was fine. I thought it was I thought it was a good message, and I thought they did good with Thunderbolts. But yeah, a lot of the other stuff, like you mentioned, like Scar, Hulk's kid, and Thor has a kid, and now everyone has a kid. But I don't know, are they gonna pay this off? Are they gonna pay this off by the time Secret Wars happens, or is that just something we're gonna get lost in the sauce?
We'll probably get lost in the sauce, man, because that's the other thing. Star-Lord's supposed to show up at some point.
Yeah,
they put that in there too, and so we're never gonna get another Guardians. So what do we do with that? Do we continue that? Do we squash that? There's just a lot of unanswered questions that they need to get right. And depending on when that trailer drops before Avatar on Friday, we're just, like I said, we're just hoping and praying, because everyone loves the MCU. It's such a good franchise that everyone's been a part of for so long.
Yeah. And for the longest time, I feel like a lot of us, and present company included, I was in denial. I was like, oh, they'll get it back. They'll get, it's almost like Fred Flintstone car or whatever, where like the wheels are falling off. Like, you'll get it back. You get it back. And eventually, the wheels fall off and you're done. This is the Hail Mary. I think Doomsday is the Hail Mary that they're expecting. If they could write the ship with Doomsday that lead into Secret Wars, that'll be the last hurrah. But like you mentioned, I think in best case scenario, Secret Wars is you flip the switch whatever happens in Secret Wars happens, and then you start fresh everywhere. Like, and you go back to basics, making your movies.
Yep. See, I think Doomsday is pivotal, but I think Brand New Day is going to be the one where, all right, we're either back or we're not.
Yeah.
Because you can get away with a bad ensemble movie. Age of Ultron was proof of that.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron wasn't great, but everyone was in it, so we're like, okay. But it's the standalone ones that everyone wants to critique and get on. So Brand New Day for me is the one where it's like, are we back or are we not? Because if you mess up a Spider-Man story, you're done.
Yeah, that's true. And
if a
they
Spider-Man
really
movie
haven't.
flops, you're out.
Besides the original Spider-Man 3, the original Venom movie that people critiqued left and right, I didn't mind all that much. The Topher Grace. They really haven't had a misstep with Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a misstep.
I didn't mind it all that much. I liked the story. I you know what it was? They paid off the bell tower scene that everyone was just waiting for.
Yeah, it was a great scene.
And like that was like one of my pivotal reading comic books as a kid, like memories.
No, it's when you're a kid, that's probably the most tragic thing you've seen is like, oh, he saved her, right? And you're like, no. You're like, what?
So just seeing that singular scene, I think saved the movie for me because I've been waiting for that scene as like a kid and now adult.
That saved it for you?
I didn't mind it all that much.
Erased the whole Dane DeHaan?
Dane DeHaan was bad. That was bad. Now that the Rolodex is spinning,
that's
that was
what I'm
bad.
saying. It wasn't Batman and Robin bad, but it was bad. It was the weaker. I think it's the weakest Spider-Man movie.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and watch it this weekend, and I'm gonna get back to you. Well, you're probably right.
Yeah, but I mean, the best Spider-Man, hands down, but the weakest movie. Because even with Topher Grace, that Harry Osborn, Hobgoblin was light years better than Dane DeHaan.
Yeah. All right. We got one last topic, and it wasn't originally in our, topic list, but I saw you kind of getting a little pissed off at the end of the Boneheads and Brewskis podcast, and and the bums were able to talk about it a little bit on Monday, but you were really mad at John Cena's last match, like a lot of wrestling fans were. A lot of wrestling fans left a sour taste in their mouth. I already talked about it on the Bumcast. I was a fan of a lot of that. Basically, the whole production. I thought the Saturday Night Main Event was good. The stories and the the clips and stuff like that were fine, but you really didn't like it. So I'm gonna let you cook on John Cena's last match.
All right. So this is props to you for saying you like Saturday Night's Main Event. I'll give you that because
the matches were bad. I thought
I thought everything was bad.
Okay, go ahead.
The only saving grace of that show was John Cena's last match, and then they ruined that because all the storylines you set up. You have Obafemi versus Cody Rhodes, which I think Obafemi should have been wrestling John Cena.
Okay,
like that's what I wanted to see, because his whole thing is he buries talent. He buries talent for his whole career. He just buries talent, and now we have Obafemi, which everyone loves. His character is amazing. He does the things. You have him go over on John Cena. That was his whole thing. But you have Drew McIntyre going over there and ruining that match. Makes no sense. You have Javon Evans and Leon Slater. I don't want.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Javon Evans is a high flyer. He's the closest thing to Jeff Hardy we've had in a long time. You're overexposing him right now. Let him do his thing on NXT. Let him show up every once in a while. I'm okay with that. But God, John Cena. Like I was saying on my podcast, I knew he was going to lose. I have no problem with him losing. He's supposed to lose. It's his final match. He loses. But the way in which he loses, that whole match, he's going back and forth, coming out, becoming Super Cena, not becoming Super Cena. Gunther is great. He's a great wrestler. He's already over. why are we pushing him more over? And then to do it like that, for him to be smiling as he taps out, which is just like a no, like you were saying earlier, at least let him go out like Stone Cold. At least let him pass out.
Yeah.
Never gives up. But it's so bad. And like, you think the MCU is cooked. I think WWE is cooked right now. They need to get it back together because, man, I'm not a huge AEW fan. There's a bunch of regular wrestlers on AEW that I respect a lot. But right now, WWE is not even holding a candle to them. Because Triple H, you've been making a lot of mistakes. And if it's long-term storytelling, every storyline can't be long-term storytelling. You need to have those little quick ins and outs. Yeah. It's because that was bad. And now it's even worse after Raw, where it's like, well, is John Cena going to come back? Or is it just straight on, Gunther's just straight on to the next one, and that's AJ Styles?
Yeah, we talked about on Monday. It's very obvious what they're doing with the Legend Killer
2.0.
Yeah, but you could run through AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio. There's a couple other. Randy Orton would be a good one.
Randy Orton's there still. Chris Jericho's coming back.
Yeah, so you can go through the gamut.
They're still doing the Edge thing. Is he not? So I Gunther's a better wrestler than to have that storyline. Like when Randy Orton did it, it was great because he was young and he was the future. Like that was his whole thing with Evolution was he's the next up. Gunther's been around for a while.
I do think Gunther needed a reset after tapping out. I know, like, and they kept him away from TV for a while. I don't mind this for him. Like no. They're basically setting up. He is, you know what? Best case scenario, we talked about him being the Legend Killer.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to put down Brock. That's the final Infinity Stone for him to be, the next Thanos, if you will. We're tying this all together. If he goes through AJ and Ray and a couple other guys, you have to retire Brock, and then he is the big bad of the WWE. So I don't mind that, but I just don't know if I have faith in Triple H and the WWE booking, because like you mentioned, I thought they were in a good place right before the Netflix deal. I thought even after like the previous WrestleMania, I thought they were semblings of getting things right. And then between Nick Khan and all of the Saudi deals that rub people the wrong way,
it's
and
TKO.
The TKO, and like they're raising prices and moving WrestleManias from places and moving pay-per-views, and like I feel like New Orleans got shafted out of a couple of things. Indianapolis got shafted for a couple of things. Like it's very obvious what they're doing, chasing the money. But if the product is still there, that's the main end all be all, and it's just not there right now.
Everyone like it's gonna sell. So I understand that they're being business people, and they're who are the hotter superstars right now. Gunther is up there, so we'll push him. But there's so much more. See, when you said he needs to retire Brock, I like that idea. But I don't think he's the one to retire Brock.
Okay.
I think that's going to be Obafemi to do that.
I like that. I like Obafemi. There's a possibility. I'm not in on Bron Breakker as a lot of other people are. But I mean, can see why people.
He's physically gifted. He's getting better on the mic.
There's been a lot of guys that have been physically gifted throughout the years.
But he's getting better on the mic, which I will give him that. He's still not the best. But, I mean, look at Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was terrible on the mic.
Joey P made the Roman Reigns comp for Bron Breakker on our show. And I think it's a fair comp. It's like very early on in their careers. and you could see similarities, with mic work and the pushes and things like that. And if you were to tell people, he's the next Roman Reigns early on in the career, I don't think he is, but that's a good comp to have.
Yeah, a good comparison.
I will say the thing they got right going on right now, and it's been the thing that they have had going on, is Dom Mysterio. Push him to the moon, and let him run with the entire show.
Push him to the moon. And then there's the other thing, which I'm sorry if you guys haven't watched Monday Night Raw. What's wrong with you? Austin Theory's back. I'm a big Austin Theory fan. I think that guy can. You give him the right character, you give him the right story. That kid's awesome. He's good on the mic. He's good in the ring. I think he takes over the Vision.
I do think I like him with Paul Heyman. I will agree with that. I think he needs a Paul Heyman type, at least for now.
Yeah, because so far he's just been this little random guy. He's like, oh yeah, camera. He's essentially, he was doing Logan Paul's character before Logan Paul got there.
Yeah.
And that's another thing with Logan Paul. I don't like him per se, but
you're not supposed to like him. You're not
killing it.
he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do for his character and for his business, basically.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever be a face.
No, and that's okay. I will give him credit. Like, he bought in, man. He, like, when you hear him, even in interviews outside of the WWE, whenever he's doing his podcast or on other people's podcasts, he's really, really respectful of the business. And he talked about how, he's basically just immersed himself in everything professional wrestling. So as much as, we could shit on the Paul brothers for being the Paul brothers, I will give him, I'll give him credit that, like, he went through, he's going about it the right way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even, when he goes on the podcast and he's bringing Randy Orton, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Dom, Rhea, Cody, he's picking their minds, and he's putting in the work outside of it too. So hats off to him. But Dom Mysterio, man. Yeah, I can't say that about that guy.
Yeah,
he's taking over. Like, if he does not have a world title on him by this time next year, they're doing wrong.
I think you got to give them, this. Like, it's already obvious what they're doing with this WrestleMania, and like they already have filmed the commercials with like everyone at the poker table and different things like that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they have this already booked, but like within the next calendar year, Dom's got to be your guy.
Yeah, I'm still hopeful for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, no,
I've got my finger over the buy tickets now to Chicago. I'm just waiting for them to give me a reason to be like, all right.
Those goddamn tickets were so expensive. I don't think anybody. Joey P got tickets. He was the only one of the group. But yeah, that's all I got. This was a solid hour, 10 minutes of nerd news, my man. This is exactly what I wanted to do for this episode of the Bologna Show. We talked a shit ton of comic book movies and video games and wrestling and everything else. And I said it in the beginning of the show, but I appreciate you hopping on and telling me immediately, hey, man, I want in on this. So I feel like you're going to be on the short list of recurring guests, because we could do this a lot. We can do it every month. Hour of wrestling. So thank you so much. I just watched the Boneheads and Brewskis podcast, but let everybody know where they could find you and the rest of those knuckleheads.
Okay. So you can find me at pretty much every social media outlet at PL Dragons. But yeah, we're part of the Boneheads and Brewskis podcast at Boneheads TX. We do show every Tuesday, Wednesday, 6:30-ish. A lot of people like to partake in some beverages beforehand, so sometimes we got to push it back a little bit. But yeah, we're a football podcast, a bunch of friends who just shoot the shit about football and fantasy football and what's going on in lives. Get a little crazy.
You guys make me laugh. You guys make me laugh. That's exactly what I tell everybody.
And that's another thing. Why'd you have to go and put that image of the original poster in the group chat? So now I'm getting
I'll get.
Now
I
I'm
will.
getting photoshopped as R. Kelly.
I don't know about all that. That wasn't my doing, but I will say what I like about the entire Bonehead and Brewskis crew, and it's something that I always talk about with us, with the bums, is that like we show our love by busting balls, and you guys are exactly like the same thing. You know, like if I'm not busting your balls, it means I don't like you. And the fact that, you know, all of you guys, you know, Jose and Albert and Luna and Taco, you guys come back at us. And then Dougie will make a Photoshop, and then Joey P and Jason are always in the like. We're always busting each other's balls, but it's out of a like a kinship, if you will.
Oh yeah, except for Jason, he takes it a little too seriously.
He's been mad about the fantasy football. He's competitive. I appreciate that about my man.
He could be mad at everybody. He was taking it out on me, and I don't appreciate it.
Luna really loves the HBIC. Well, you know what? I might have to do just a side-by-side Luna HBIC episode of the Bologna Show. And we've always talked about doing bum fights. We could just fight them.
That's, bro, they're so old.
Oh no. I can't be letting you take shots at my guy over there.
Right, call me a scumbag in the chat just a few seconds ago.
He did call you a Philly scumbag. See? That's true. This is true. He did do it.
No, right, I appreciate you for having me. And yeah, anytime you want to talk some nerd stuff, I'm around.
It'll happen sooner than later. There's always nerd stuff happening.
Always nerd stuff happening.
All right, thanks, homie.
Yes, sir.
All right, before I let you guys go, I'm going to remind you once again, one last time about the there it is. The watch party this Saturday. It's Bears, it's Packers. It's the biggest game in the last 6 years. We are going to be at the Ramova on the big screen, big theater. It's going to be awesome. We're trying to pack that place full of Bears fans. $10 ticket gets you your first beer, courtesy of the Ramova. If you show us your prepaid ticket in our DMs on Twitter, on Instagram, shoot them to me, shoot them to Jason. We'll buy you another beer. So a beer from the Ramova, a beer from the Bums, that'll get you nice and lubricated before we watch the Bears kick the Packers' ass and get some revenge on our way to the playoffs. So I hope to see everyone at the Ramova December 20th. That's this Saturday. Nobody works on Sunday. The victory coffees will be flowing Sunday morning. Very excited about it. So I hope to see you guys there. RSVP and buy your tickets at Ramova Theater or RamovaChicago.com. And we'll see you then. I'm out. Bologna Show. We got next two Bologna shows are actually Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So I don't know what I'm doing. I might be pre-recording them. I might be going live with Joey P, eating some tamales, doing some Mexican Christmas things. I might be doing maybe a Mark Giangreco type New Year's episode, or I might just take a week off. I'm not sure yet, but I'll keep you posted. So head over to Chicago Sports Bums or my Twitter account, and I'll let you know what we're doing. But I'll do something. Other than that, we'll see you guys. Go Bears. Peace.
Goodbye for tonight. Know that I'll see you right.